you ever felt just satisfied or plain sad or even depressed, or sometimes you just are not as happy as you'd like to be? How do you deal with that situation? What do you do? Have you felt like that in the past year? Anyone? Maybe you can nod, you don't have to raise your hand. Or in the past month? So we're going to see how a very, very special personality dealt with the situation. Within a sacred forest glen, 5,000 years ago, the fires of many sages set the early dawn aglow. As Sutta smiled respectfully, he said to all the sages, "The great Vyasa was born in the conjunction of 2 ages. He relished in ascetic's life on the Sarasvati's banks, until a vision crushed him and his happy spirits sank."
Vyasa could see in meditation mighty waves of time imposing great anomalies on all of humankind. He saw the people troubled and their lifespans growing small, and so he thought as follows: for the well-being of all.
The people of the coming age shall surely be employed in 4 career divisions, which nobody can avoid. Alas, their comprehension of the Vedas shall be poor, so I shall split the Veda into sections, 1 through 4. Since people in the coming age will lose their memory, I must preserve in writing everything that they will need. To complement the Vedas in historical context, I'll write the Mahabharata and vast Puranic texts.
Vyasa fulfilled his promises. The Vedas stayed alive in 4 distinct divisions, with the histories making 5. Each section was assigned to one esteemed and learned soul, who mastered his division as preserved on ink and scroll. Compassionate and wise Vyasa, to help the common man, thus edited the Vedic texts for all to understand. The wondrous Mahabharata, a historical narration, uplifted all its readers to the highest destination. Although he toiled so tirelessly to aid the rank and file, Vyasa would often wonder if his writing was worthwhile. He knew by codes of Dharma all his actions were correct, but still his heart was troubled, so he started to reflect.
I have strictly worshipped, with no malice or pretension, my Guru and the Vedas at the altar of tradition. I wrote the Mahabharata, which surely proved its worth, by uplifting its readers, even those of lower birth. So from the Vedic point of view, my knowledge is complete. And still, I find my literary triumph bittersweet. I wonder if, despite my work, I thoughtlessly ignored the ecstasy of service and devotion to the Lord.
While feeling discontented and confused with what he'd done, Vyasa sat in depression in the early morning sun. He sadly meditated on that holy riverside, when all at once his guru, Srila Narada, arrived. Saint Narada, the sage amongst the gods, sat down and smiled. He said,
"O learned soul, Vyasa, has all that you've compiled about the mind and body as the goals of realization left you upset and unfulfilled? Is that your situation?"
Vyasa replied,
Exactly so. Please tell me why, my Lord, with all my years of sacrifice, why should I feel discord? Since you're well known for turning up and solving mysteries, will you inspect my heart and spell out my deficiencies?
replied the saintly Narada, in prompt evaluation.
Your words on duty, money, sense, enjoyment, and salvation, through pleasing the devotees of these worldly categories, have failed to mention Krishna or elucidate his glories. Those words describing Krishna clean the heart, as you well know. But other words are simply sites of pilgrimage for crows, wherever crows assemble to debate at length and leisure. The swan-like sages never take a single moment's pleasure. And on the other hand, Vyasa, those words that just describe Lord Krishna's names and forms and pastimes revolutionize the sinful lives of victims of the Kali age infection. A sage adores such words, even said with imperfection. Philosophy devoid of Krishna has no valid use. And what to speak of troublesome and material pursuits, since you are wise, secure in vow, and held in high esteem? Just write about Lord Krishna, and your work will be redeemed. For as the wind can rock a boat with anchor unsecured, those words devoid of Krishna cause the mind to be disturbed. Your readers cite religion as they sin their lives away, but you have inadvertently encouraged them this way. Who else but learned experts who've renounced all worldly vice can understand the deeper truth of human life? You surely have such gifts, Vyasa, and I find you most fit to narrate Krishna's pastimes for your readers' benefit. A soul pursuing Krishna may attempt to serve but fail, yet such a person still exceeds the worldly who prevail. Lord Krishna will protect the deathless soul of one who tries, while one who worships money loses everything and dies. So learned, thoughtful people, philosophically inclined, do not pursue material success of any kind. Enjoyment of the senses can be found both near and far, and comes to us as troubles do, unwanted as they are. A soul who hears and learns of Krishna never undergoes another birth in ignorance, and this is why it's so. If only once one relishes the touch of Krishna's feet, he never can forget it or find anything more sweet. Lord Krishna is in everything, and yet he remains aloof and relishes his pastimes, which are pure and absolute. Good soul, you were meant to help this world. Your time has come. Now please, write more about the world, about the Lord and his sublime activities.
Can anyone recognize the cause of Vyasa's depression? Anyone? Huh? Exactly, yeah. So we can learn a lot from this pastime. And like we heard this morning by His Holiness Devamrita Swami, when Maya rocks our boat, we can chant our way through it, or Bhagavatam our way through it. And yeah, so maybe next time when we have these negative emotions come up or situations, we can try to strengthen our devotional muscles and choose Krishna as our shelter. Hare Krishna.